Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. WWE is set to host SummerSlam as a two-night event this year, and Triple H is leaving no stone unturned to make it a grand success. The company is set to feature a highly anticipated clash between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Naomi for the Women's World Championship at the Spectacle. This has become one of the most unpredictable matches on the card. The Genius of the Sky, who has been in the wrestling industry for the past 18 years, recently lost her championship at Evolution this month. While the fact that she recently lost her gold makes it quite unlikely that she would regain the coveted title at SummerSlam in just 1 month of losing it. It looks like Triple H has given a nod to those speculations. The game may have subtly confirmed on the recent episode of Raw that Io Sky is not winning the Women's World Championship match at the annual extravaganza. Stephanie Vacher is set to challenge for the Women's World Championship at Clash in Paris. If the Dark Angel were to face Io Sky for the coveted title, WWE would have kept this bout reserved for the PLT. However, the company featured this blockbuster match on this week's episode of Raw. This seemingly makes it evident that Triple H has no plans to feature this match at Paris. Despite the ending of the match, WWE does not seem to have any plans to build a story around Vacher and Sky following SummerSlam. The creative team might build another major bout for La Primera at Clash in Paris. Therefore, this seems to be a major indication that Io Sky is not winning the Women's World title at the biggest party of the summer. During this week's Raw, Stephanie Vacher had an interaction with Women's World Champion Naomi. The Glow rudely introduced herself to the Dark Angel while taking shots at her. It was a brief yet tense interaction that indicated that WWE could be building a story between the two stars. Later on the show, Naomi shoved Io Sky into Vacher, pushing the latter out of the ring. It looks like WWE has already laid the foundation for a future clash between Naomi and Stephanie Vacher. Triple H may have subtly revealed that the Glow will remain champion after SummerSlam, and this is the Women's World title match WWE is building for Clash in Paris. WWE wouldn't have shown two notable segments if it didn't have plans to pit Naomi against Vacher. This week's episode of Raw also featured a backstage segment involving Io Sky and the Kabuki Warriors. During this, Kairi Sane hyped the Genius of the Sky ahead of her Women's World title match, and even wished her luck for her battle. Meanwhile, Sky looked confident while claiming that she would become the new champion at SummerSlam next month. However, it's often seen that when a superstar starts making bold claims about winning a title, it rarely leads to an actual victory. This tactic is used to build anticipation and keep the outcome unpredictable. In Io Sky's case, WWE seems to be deliberately throwing fans off track so they can't predict the outcomes ahead of the SummerSlam match. Hence, all signs point towards the theory that Io Sky is not walking out of SummerSlam with the Women's World Championship around her waist. In the world of WWE, nothing ever happens by accident. Every promo, every gesture, every Karen angle can carry deeper meaning, especially when Triple H is involved. As WWE's chief content officer and the creative mastermind behind much of the company's modern storytelling, Triple H has developed a reputation for sending fans into a frenzy with his carefully crafted teases and veiled comments. Now, with SummerSlam rapidly approaching, fans are abuzz after a recent development on WWE programming seemed to hint that a shocking outcome is already in the cards. And it revolves around none other than an 18-year veteran who may be stepping into the ring for his last shot at glory. According to subtle signals dropped by Triple H in a backstage segment and a post-show interview, it seems that this veteran, once considered untouchable in the title scene, may be about to suffer a crushing loss in what could be the twilight of his championship aspirations. The speculation started innocently enough. During a recent episode of WWE Raw, a backstage segment aired where Triple H was shown discussing upcoming SummerSlam matches with General Manager Adam Pearce. On the surface, the exchange seemed routine, a high-level conversation about logistics and talent placements. But for longtime fans of Triple H's storytelling, the body language and phrasing caught their attention. Triple H specifically referred to the veteran in question as someone who had nothing left to prove and who had already given everything to this business. He went on to say, "Sometimes the fight is in your heart, even if the win isn't in your future." It was a powerful line, and one that many fans believe was not just a general statement, but a deliberate foreshadowing of what's to come at SummerSlam. The 18-year veteran in question is none other than Randy Orton. The Apex Predator has had a career that most superstars can only dream of: 14-time world champion, Royal Rumble winner, WrestleMania main eventer, and arguably one of the most consistent performers in WWE history. But injuries have taken their toll, and since his return earlier this year, the question has loomed large: how many more title runs does Orton have left? SummerSlam 2025 is being billed as one of his last major opportunities to claim gold, and with reports suggesting that Orton will challenge for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, the stakes couldn't be higher. Yet with Triple H's comments ringing in the background, optimism among Orton's fans has started to fade. Adding fuel to the fire was Triple H's appearance on the bump earlier this week. When asked about Orton's status heading into SummerSlam, Triple H praised his legacy and called him a measuring stick in this business. But then came a pause, a long, deliberate moment of reflection before Triple H added, "Sometimes legends step into the spotlight not to reclaim it, but to pass it on." That line has exploded across wrestling social media, with many interpreting it as a signal that Orton may be walking into SummerSlam, not as the hunter, but as the hunted. Could Orton be set up to elevate a younger star? Could he be destined to lose not just the match, but potentially exit the title picture for good? While WWE has not officially confirmed Orton's opponent for SummerSlam, strong backstage whispers point toward Bjorn, the dominant Intercontinental Champion turned world title contender. The Austrian powerhouse has been on a path of destruction for over 2 years and has openly targeted the world title since being moved to Raw. A clash between Orton and Bjorn would not only be a dream match for many fans, it would be a symbolic passing of the torch moment between generations. And if Triple H's subtle cues are to be believed, that moment may not end well for the legend killer. Several WWE insiders and former superstars have weighed in on the growing speculation. Speaking exclusively to WrestleZone, a former WWE producer who requested anonymity shared, "Triple H doesn't say things just to say them. If he's using language like, 'nothing left to prove,' it's usually because the writing is on the wall. That kind of language prepares the audience emotionally for a loss." Meanwhile, Booker T noted on his Hall of Fame podcast that Orton doesn't need another title run, but he can absolutely make someone else with one great match. That's what legends do. Such commentary has only reinforced the idea that Orton may be preparing for a massive loss, not out of weakness, but as part of his larger role as a ring general and mentor. To further complicate matters, Orton himself has been more introspective in recent interviews. Appearing on After the Bell, he discussed his return from injury and admitted that the road back was harder than I thought it would be. "I'm not 25 anymore. I'm not even 35. I know what time it is." While he stopped short of calling SummerSlam his last shot at the world title, he did say, "If this is the end of the road for me chasing championships, I'm at peace with that. I just want to go out there and give everything I have left." That level of honesty from Orton is rare, and for fans who have followed his career from his explosive debut in 2002 to now, it's sobering. Still, not everyone is convinced that Triple H's comments mean Orton will lose. Some believe that this could be a misdirection tactic, a clever narrative seed planted to make Orton's victory feel even more triumphant and unexpected. Wrestling analyst Denise Salcedo commented on Fightful Select, "Sometimes when WWE starts telegraphing a loss, it's because they want the win to hit harder." If Orton walks out of SummerSlam as champion, it will be one of the biggest emotional pops of the year. Others point to the fact that WWE has leaned heavily into real-life emotional arcs in recent years, and Orton winning despite the odds could be the exact kind of feel-good moment that Triple H would craft. However, all signs continue to point toward a heartbreaking loss. WWE's official SummerSlam poster, released last week, conspicuously features GUNT-ATR front and center, flanked by rising stars like Braun Breaker and Ilja Dragunov. Orton's image is present, but faded and in the background, almost as if to suggest his legacy looms, but his time is passing. Additionally, reports from multiple wrestling news outlets indicate that creative plans involve GUNT here receiving a major push through the end of 2025, with a long-term title reign likely. Such plans would make Orton's victory at SummerSlam a difficult proposition. Fans are bracing for an emotional night. On social media, #ThankYouOrton has begun trending again, with thousands of fans sharing their favorite memories of the Viper's two-decade journey. From his early days in Evolution to his battles with John Cena, his chilling feud with The Fiend, and his RKO out of nowhere resurgence, Orton has consistently reinvented himself. He has earned the respect of fans, peers, and critics alike. If SummerSlam 2025 does mark the end of his world title pursuits, it will be the end of an era. But true to form, Orton would not go out with a whimper. He'd go out with a war. As for Triple H, his role as the messenger, perhaps even the orchestrator, of this transition speaks volumes. While he does not explicitly confirm the result, his history suggests that when he starts dropping clues, fans would be wise to listen. His respect for Orton is well documented, dating back to their Evolution days. But in WWE, the business always moves forward, and sometimes a subtle confirmation is more powerful than a public announcement. So will Randy Orton defy expectations and reclaim gold? Or will Triple H's cryptic language become prophecy? SummerSlam 2025 may hold the answer. Until then, the WWE Universe watches, waits, and wonders, knowing that whatever happens, it will be unforgettable. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.